Okay, today we're going to be smoking some ribs on the Wood Creek. This is a St. Louis style cut. I got these from the butcher. They're already kind of cleaned up a little bit. One thing that we're going to do specifically with this, if you get them from a butcher, usually there's this membrane on the back that you want to remove. So I use a paper towel to get a little bit of leverage. You should be able to peel it all off in one long strip, or in this case, two long strips. You definitely want to get this membrane out because it leaves like a chewy sinew behind. So when if you ever cook it with it on, and usually people that are doing barbecue that are first timers, they leave this membrane on, and it gets a little gnarly when you're trying to eat it. Actually, gonna trim this back a little bit anyway because this has a lot of. I want this to be evened out, but I don't want to cut too close to the bone either. So this is the bone side of the ribs, and then we have the other side is how we're going to start it off. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to see if I can get this rest of this off. And then what I'm going to do is put the rub on, and I'm going to put the rub on, and then what we're going to do is smoke it. When we're going to smoke them, they're going to be this side up first for about 2 hours. Then we're going to flip it bone side. That's going to go for about an hour. Then I'm going to lay it on aluminum foil, and I brush that with a sauce. Put that meat side down, wrap it up really tight, and we're going to let it kind of, you don't want it to steam, so you want to make sure that the aluminum foil is wrapped up really tight. And we're going to let that go for about another hour, hour and a half, until the ribs are cooked all the way through. So right now, let me get this rub on here. This is a secret rub. Shh, don't tell the secret. We won't tell the secret. So get that going. I'm going to let this sit with the rest of the ribs I have already pre-butchered and rubbed, and we'll fire up that smoker and start cooking. All right, so we're at the Wood Creek right now. I've got the pellet hopper filled up. I am going to start this up at 250. The lid open for a couple minutes. Just let it go through the cycle. Let the auger kick out some pellets and fill up the fire pot. And then we're going to close the lid and let it get all the way heated up, and then we're going to add our ribs to the smoker. So you can hear that fan kick on. I can actually hear the auger as well. Probably take about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been a few minutes here. You can obviously see the smoke coming out, fans going, everything looks nice. It's safe. I'm going to close this lid. We're going to let it come up to the 250, and then we'll put our ribs on. All right, so this is up to 250, ready to go. I'm going to clean off these grates. Always want to make sure when you put ribs on that the grates are nice and clean. That way they won't stick. So that's done. I'm going to lay these in. As I said before, you want to have the bone side down. Next thing I'm going to do is get some sauce in a pot. I'm going to put that up on the top, and then we'll heat that up once we do the turn after 2 hours. 2 hours, we'll turn bone side up, then we'll put the sauce on. We heat that up when we do the flip, and then we're going to brush the sauce on the aluminum and take it from there. So one thing I want to take advantage of, since I know this is going to take a couple hours to smoke, I'm going to connect to the app. It's pretty easy to use. It finds the devices that are going. It's all Bluetooth, so I'm pairing with the Wood Creek 401. Continue. Here's my temps and everything. I'm going to set a timer. And let's see, I'm going to do 2 hours. Start that timer. We'll be back in 2 hours and do the flip. It's been really cold up here and windy today, but it held pretty well. We're at 248, so we're only a couple degrees off. from the 250 we were at. Let's flip these over and put them on for another hour, bone side up, all right? Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh yeah, these are looking delicious. All right, so give it a little flippy. There's no stick because we gave that grate a nice clean. Oh yeah, these are looking great. Actually, flip these all the way around. You know, we are chef's bonus, so we're going to take a little taste off of this after the next hour, because that is the chef's bonus. Very exciting. All right, I got about 30 minutes left on these ribs before I wrap them up in foil. So what I'm going to do now is just put a pan in here and heat up some of the sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to baste the sauce on the bottom of the aluminum foil. I'm going to lay the rib in there, and then I'm going to baste it again on the top and wrap it up real tight. So, all right, here we are. 2 minutes left on the timer. Next step, what I'm going to do is go in here, reset another timer for an hour. I'm going to turn the temp down to 200, and I'm going to brush the foil and wrap them up tight. That is good timing too. Do you hear that beeping? The beeping actually is the sensor on the pellet hopper, because they kind of the pellets, when they go in, they kind of canoe down at an angle. It's a pre-warning to the getting an error code on the readout board. So what I'm going to do is just shift those pellets around and add some more in, and then I'm going to do the ribs since I have a minute left. So I'll turn this down 200. My sauces and things, these are looking beautiful. Sweet. All right, so let me get another glove on. I want to work relatively quickly because I don't want the temp to drop. It was up 250. I want to get it down to about 200, so that's not too bad. I'm going to take a piece of aluminum. That's what I'm going to do to all the ribs. I'm going to brush the sauce in here, kind of get a nice coating on there. Put a little bit of agave. I want to kind of have the rib sweet. The rub that I put on is a real spicy rub. So I kind of want that sweet and spicy going on. There we go. Put that there. Put a little more on top. Like I said, we want to get a nice seal on this. If you don't, what happens, everything steams inside, and the ribs can get really mealy and kind of disgusting if you don't do it right. So it usually takes 2 pieces of aluminum to ensure you got a proper wrap on here. So we got that gap there. Grab another piece of aluminum. So these guys right here, I was talking about ribs poking through. I'm going to be real careful when I wrap that side up because I do not want those breaking through the foil and steaming out. I used to have a culinary instructor. We would get real excited about food when we were at this point. It was getting close to the end and say, almost time to eat, everybody. Yum, yum. Yum, yum, everybody. And that's all I can smell of these amazing ribs and the sauce and the rub and the agave, and it's all kind of coming together. And oh man, I cannot wait to dig in. So it's at 200. Temperature's holding pretty steady. It's about 194 right now. Again, I'm going to let these hang out in the foil at the lower temp for about an hour, and then we'll be ready to go. But I mean, these are looking real good. They're right about where I want them to be, nice and tender. so pretty exciting. Don't let that sauce just kind of hang out there. Stay nice and warm. Maybe reduce down a little bit. So I'm really excited to see what these are going to look like. The countdown is here, the final countdown, Europe, and very excited. So about a minute out. Going to cut everything on a cutting board just so we can take a look at it, glaze it with a little bit more sauce, and we'll be good to go. Ooh. Alright. You know what, we're going to have to do a test rib. I'm going to take one from the back. Don't mind me, I have hands of steel, so don't try this at home. Years of being a chef, I have no feeling in my hands anymore. So, let me go over here. I'm going to go around and cut those up. Oh yeah. All right, I'm digging in. I'm not even going to wait. Yeah. Perfect smoke ring right there. Perfect. That's it. Lunchtime.